Hi, I'm Sebastian, and today I want to chat with you about Mauricio Shattah's Yellow Bourbon natural processed coffee. It's one of our espressos right now. Since I started buying coffee many years ago, I've tasted thousands of naturals looking for that elusive cup. When done right, natural processed coffees are amazing, exposing us to a wide range of flavors that we never thought were possible in coffee. The trouble is, finding that amazing cup has proven nearly impossible in years past. Now, more recently, people like Mauricio Shattah have been changing the way that I look at naturals. Now, before I tell you why, let's just step back and talk about what makes a natural processed coffee. Natural coffees are essentially coffees that are picked from the trees and left to dry in fruit form. The theory behind this is that two things can happen. Number one, the beans absorb sugars from the fruit while it's drying. And secondly, a fermentation process takes place, giving natural processed coffees those distinct fruity flavors and often, funky flavors too. The trouble with natural processed coffee is that historically it's been 100% uncontrolled, leaving it up to the elements and a bit of luck to determine the coffee's fate. For instance, if it's a little bit cool outside, the coffee can develop mold. And if it's a little bit hot outside, fermentation can take over and be overly fermented, leaving the coffee with unwanted acidities and funky, fruity flavors. So while there's a chance that a cup or two from that lot could be tasty, the chances of that entire lot tasting amazing are pretty slim. Making a good natural requires discipline and tech, and this is where Mauricio excels. Mauricio is a relatively new coffee producer, but what he lacks in years of experience, he more than makes up in study and experimentation. Since I met Mauricio in 2015, he's done countless experiments with coffee, probably around 30 to 40 process experiments per year. He reads papers all the time, books, probably read every single book that there is to read about coffee, and he's now doing a master's in sustainability. Mauricio is a real student of coffee, and he's applied much of his learnings to the production of his coffee. And now, all of Mauricio's coffee is either natural processed or honey processed coffee. Now, this specific coffee is a coffee that has undergone 48 hours of anaerobic fermentation in fruit form. Then the coffee's been depulped, and then it's gone back into the anaerobic fermentation tanks with the addition of a tartaric acid for another 48 hours. Then the coffee is left to dry in Mauricio's highly controlled drying beds. The result is a coffee that is very fragrant, very tropical, very sweet, yet super clean and very consistent. Well done, Mauricio. So why don't we go over to the machine now? I'll pull a couple of shots, we can taste it and talk about the coffee. Okay, so let's taste it. Wow. So, right away, get hit with like a super fragrant vanilla note. It's a great way to start. And it dives right into passion fruit, mango, with a really nice cacao finish. Very creamy, super juicy, sweet, great tasting coffee. So, we have this coffee as part of our Uncommon collection for a very short amount of time. You can get it online, and we have a limited supply of it in our cafes. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. I'd like to thank Mauricio for making such a tasty coffee. Thank you.